Hello, welcome to this channel. In this video, we are going to make a challenge to transform $20 into $2,000 by following these 3 steps. We need to set up a grid bot that can make a profit of 1% per hour, and by doing that, if we do not compound the result, that is, if we do not close and reopen the grid with profit, we will need more than 1 year of the grid running, which is almost impossible to do. So what we need to do is to compound the result and open and close the grid whenever the price reach to the initial price. The first step of this challenge is we need to select the coin. We use the highest normalized average true range, which is an indicator of trading view. I did a list and I am choosing the CELR USDT. This indicator is available on TradingView, and on the average it gives 1.5 for that coin. So that is the coin that I'm going to select for this challenge. The first step then is complete. The second, I need to match the margin balance, that is $20, with the possible maximum loss of the grid. Okay, so I am going to use this tool, which is available at toolkit.binancegridtrading.com, which allows us to determine the maximum loss of the grid. We need to complete with the data of the grid, and in this case we will use 50x because we need to reach to the target of 1% profit per hour. So we need a lot of leverage. This is a very high risk operation. It is not recommended. It is just for entertainment purposes. So this tool works like this. First, I need to set the lower limit and the upper limit of the grids to see if the maximum loss is higher than the initial margin. So I will put the $20 of the initial margin. And as we can see, with those limits, I will not be able to run the grid because it will be stopped in the middle because of lack of margin. So I need to adjust the limits of the grid so that the maximum loss is less than $20. In this case, I am trying to adjust the limits so that I don't have that problem when operating the grid. As you see, the grid is very narrow because of the high leverage, and that is why it is a very high risky operation. Again, this is not a financial advice, this is just for entertaining purposes. So we're reaching the optimal limits here. One more setup, and then that's the setting of the grid. The maximum loss would be 18.43 USDT. So I'm going to try some final adjustment. That gets higher. Okay, so well, the limits of the grids would be 0.11. Then let's try again a bit more. Well, there we go. Limits 0.116, 0.138, and I'm not going to lose more than $20, so I will be able to operate the grid till the end. So the second step is complete. Then we need to set up the grid on Binance. We go to derivatives, USD margin futures, and then trading strategy future grid. In this case, I'm going to select the coin that we analyzed before and the maximum leverage, which is 50x. Then I'm going to set the limits, the lower price and the upper price, the same as in the tool. And then I'm going to change the number of grids after placing the initial margin. And I will try to use the maximum grids possible. In this case, the maximum is 149. And then we are ready to start our grid. A final check to see if we lose more, then we need to adjust the price again so that we have less than $20. One final adjustment would be fine. And then we change that number. We are ready to create the grid. We click on create. We confirm that we are aware of the risk of this operation, and then we confirm again. So now we have the grid running, and if we go back to the futures screen, we can check that we don't have any open position because it is a neutral grid. It needs to reach an order to be filled, and then I choose the chart to see. Now we have an open order, and we have an open position. We can check the margin ratio, which is very low, but we're going to track it and follow it up. And we can then go back to the futures grid panel, and we're going to check the matched profit, which is the number that we're going to track while we follow up this strategy. We don't have any matched profit yet because it didn't reach any sell order. It only executed some buy orders. That is the total orders, the total open orders. And as we can see, we still don't have any match profit, and now we do. We have almost 1 cent of profit. We're going to check again, and we can see that we have 1 cent of match profit, and that is the number that we're going to track. That means 0.08%. We aim to 1% every hour, so that's the number that we are going to track. Okay, again, if we check the position, we have a long position that we expect it to then be sold. If we check the trading view graph, we can see the structure of the grid. It is not a very wide grid, so it is very risky. Step number 3 then is complete, and then we only have to wait for the strategy to reach our objective. The odds are very low. I don't think we can reach the objective, but the challenge has started. I hope you enjoyed.